The news came on Sunday. It was May 25, 2025. Phil Robertson was gone. He had reached the age of 79. Many people knew him. They knew him from television. He was the head of a famous family, the Robertson family. They were from Louisiana. His passing marked the end of an era for many. The family announced his death. They shared their sadness with the world. It was a quiet end for a man known for his strong voice. He was the patriarch, the leader of the Duck Dynasty clan. That show, it was a big deal. For a while it was everywhere. You saw their faces, you heard their Louisiana drawl. Phil was the bearded elder. He always had a bandana. He spoke his mind. Often about faith. Often about ducks. His life was an open book, for better or worse, on television screens across the nation. He wasn't a typical TV star. He was different. That was his appeal. Before the cameras arrived, before the fame. Phil Robertson was a Louisiana man, through and through. He loved the Ouachita Parish. He loved its swamps, its rivers, its wildlife, especially the ducks. He built a life around them. A simple life at first, hunting, fishing, living off the land. This connection to nature, it defined him. It was the foundation of everything that came later. It was his truth. The final years were shadowed. Alzheimer's disease had taken hold. The family had shared this news. It was a difficult journey. For him, for them, the disease chips away. It takes memories. It takes abilities. His strong presence had slowly faded from the public eye, but the news of his death, it brought him back to the forefront, a reminder of his impact, a reminder of a life lived large, and now, a life concluded. Phil Robertson was young once, like everyone. He grew up in Louisiana. He loved being outside. The woods were his playground, the water was his school. He learned about ducks, he learned their calls, he learned their ways. He became an expert hunter. This wasn't just a sport for him, it felt more like a calling, a deep connection to the natural world. He was a quarterback in college. He could have gone pro, but he chose a different path, a path through the reeds. He needed a better duck call. He thought so. The ones available, they weren't good enough, not for him. So he decided to make his own. He tinkered, he experimented, he used cedar wood. He found a sound that ducks liked, a sound that brought them in. This duck call. It was special. It was the beginning of something big. He probably didn't know how big. Not back then. It was just a call. But it was his call. That duck call needed a name. A company name. He called it Duck Commander. Simple, direct, just like Phil. He started the business in the 1970s. It was a family affair. His sons. They helped out. They learned the trade. They learned about business from the ground up. It was hard work, long hours, building something from nothing. But they were a team. The Robertson team, bound by blood and by business, and by a shared love for duck hunting. The Duck Commander business grew, slowly at first, then faster. Word got out. His duck calls were the best. Hunters wanted them. The company expanded. They made videos, hunting videos. Phil taught people how to hunt, how to call ducks. He shared his passion, his expertise, this business, built on a simple idea, a better duck call. It became very successful. It made the Robertson family comfortable. It set the stage for an entirely new kind of adventure. Then came Duck Dynasty, the television show. It started in 2012, it was on Andy. Nobody knew it would be such a hit, but it was. A massive hit. Millions of people watched it. Every week, they watched the Robertsons, living their lives, running their business, praying together, eating together. It was a glimpse into a different world for many viewers, a world of beards, camouflage, and strong family ties. It was unlike anything else on TV. The family was unique. Phil, the patriarch, Miss Kay, his wife, his sons, Willie, Jace, Jeff, and Uncle C. They were characters, real people, but they felt like characters. Their interactions, their humor, their arguments, it was all there, for everyone to see. The show highlighted their Christian faith. It showed them praying before meals. This was unusual for reality TV. It resonated with a large part of America. It made them relatable to some, and curious to others. The show made the Robertsons famous, very famous. They were pop culture icons. Their faces were on merchandise. Their catchphrases were everywhere. But fame brought scrutiny. Phil Robertson especially. He made controversial statements about homosexuality, about race. These statements caused outrage. They sparked debates. Andy even suspended him from the show for a while. It showed the complex side of reality TV fame. When personal beliefs meet a public platform, it wasn't always easy. Duck Dynasty aired its final episode in 2017. The ratings had declined, the controversies had taken a toll. Perhaps the family was ready to step back from the constant spotlight. But the show's impact remained. It had been a cultural phenomenon. It brought a specific subculture, a rural, conservative, Christian subculture, into mainstream American living rooms. It started conversations, some good, some difficult. It left a mark, a significant bearded mark on television history. The news of Phil's Alzheimer's diagnosis. It came out a while before his passing. It cast a somber light on the family. Alzheimer's is a cruel disease. It robs people of their minds, their personalities. For a man like Phil, known for his strong opinions, his sharp wit, it must have been incredibly hard. The family likely protected him, cared for him, away from the public glare, as his condition worsened. It was a private battle, after a very public life. His death on Sunday, May 25, 2025, it was confirmed by his family. They issued a statement, expressing their grief, honoring his life. For the many fans of Duck Dynasty, it was sad news too. Phil Robertson was a larger-than-life figure. Even if you disagreed with him, you knew who he was. His passing felt like the closing of a chapter of American pop culture, a chapter of a unique family story. The patriarch had made his final call. What will Phil Robertson be remembered for? His legacy is complex. For many, it's about faith. He spoke openly and often about his Christian beliefs. It's about family. The show, at its heart, was about a family, a tight-knit, sometimes chaotic but loving family. It's about entrepreneurship, building a successful business from a simple duck call, and it's about an unapologetic way of life, living true to his values, even when those values were challenged. The Robertson family shared their lives, their worldview with millions. Their message, it was often about traditional values: God, family, country, hard work. They showed a different side of America, one that is not always seen on television. Phil Robertson was a central part of that message, a flawed man perhaps, a controversial man sometimes, but a man who lived his life on his own terms, and his story, their story, it will be discussed and remembered for a long time to come.